So moving on then to England against Belgium, the all-important game from this round of group games in Group G, and this was going to determine who was going to finish top of the group and see who was going to play who in the round of 16. So let's crack on with the lineups. And since Sunday's win against Panama, there was persistent debate as to whether England and Belgium were going to stick with their winning formula or field a weaker side, and both sides opted for the latter, and Pickford and Stones were being the only members of the England squad to remain in the lineup following a wealth of changes from Gareth Southgate. And Belgium remained with their usual formation despite their many changes. 5 minutes in, Jordan Pickford, congratulations to him. He made his first save of the tournament, and it came in quite an unprofessional manner. And to me, that says a lot with regards to how much I rate Pickford to be, like, I just distrust him completely to be our #1 goalkeeper. I think we've got to change going into the knockout stages. We really have to. And then a few minutes later, Pickford, he pounced on the ball at Batshuayi's feet, but then the ball just seemed to spill out goalwards. Yeah, I don't quite know what happened, but the ball was trickling towards the goal line, only to be cleared off the line by Gary Cahill, who came into the side following being on the bench, starting on the bench for the previous 2 matches. And from then on, for the remainder of the first half, both goalkeepers were not extensively tested. The closest that England came in that first half was a Ruben Loftus-Cheek header, and that went wide. It didn't trouble Courtois in the slightest. Moving on now, this start of the second half, the deadlock was broken by Adnan Januzaj, and it was a good shot. It was a left-footed curler into the top corner, but throughout the game, the England defending, shall we say, it was very lax throughout the game, and Januzaj's goal just completely epitomised that. There were 8 England players in the box at the time, with no one at all showing any desire to close down Januzaj, and it was a frustrating goal to concede, I'm sure. But then, yes, despite the strikers Vardy and Rashford, they were getting very poor service throughout the game, but there was one opportunity. Marcus Rashford set through clear on goal by Jamie Vardy. He was presented with a golden opportunity to equalise, and he's got to put it away. He just hasn't composed himself. Granted, it's a good fingertip save by Courtois, but at that level, come on. It just sort of showed, that goal just sort of seemed to epitomise that there's a lot of quality. There's a big difference in quality between the side that played tonight and the side that played in the Panama and Tunisia matches. And that's the closest that England came to a goal in that second half. It was very poor set pieces and service to the England strikers, Rashford and Vardy, it was very poor throughout, very disappointing. And Belgium quite simply held on without being put to the test that much. So there's room for improvement going into the knockout stages. And yes, we shall see how Belgium get on as well. I'll be covering them as well for you. And so Group G has now been finalised, and Belgium have, as I've said, have come out as group winners. So they will play Japan with the possibility of coming up against either Mexico or Brazil in the quarterfinals. That's a very difficult route for them if they are going to go far in this tournament. And whereas England, on the other hand, we have the harder game against Colombia. I would have preferred to have played Japan, obviously. So yes, we play Colombia on Tuesday, but if we manage to beat Colombia, it will be Sweden or Switzerland who will be awaiting us in the quarter-final. So we'll have to wait and see what happens then. So let's quickly rattle through then the Panama against Tunisia game, a match which was played with only pride at stake. Yeah, it was the Central American side who took the lead for the first time in the World Cup finals. Congratulations to them. Tunisian defender Maraya, he kind of half turned away from a long-range Panama shot. And so you could say that Maraya didn't put much carry into that block. Yeah, I'll keep the jokes coming if I can. But yes, let's quickly rattle through. It was a few minutes into the second half of that game where Tunisia equalised through Ben Youssef. He tapped in following a good assist from Khazri, although he was in an acre of space on the right. And after that, Tunisia just looked the more likely to score, simple as that. They were stringing around 3 times more passes together than Panama. And yeah, Tunisia duly turned the game on its head with Khazri tapping in from close range. 2-1 the final score. And yes, until next time, I'll be continuing to cover Belgium and England throughout the tournament until they get knocked out, or if they go all the way. You never know with England.
Very poor performance from England, I thought. The changes that Southgate made, he made 9 changes, obviously. I'm not angry that we're lost, but he's rested all these players for the round of 16, I'm guessing. Otherwise, why would he rest players? So, if we do lose against Colombia, then he's made exactly the same mistake as Roy Hodgson did 2 years ago, where he made like 6-7 changes against Slovakia, and we drew 0-0. He was saving them for the round 16. Obviously, we got beat off Iceland then. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest. I think everybody says about this has this attitude of like, oh, I hope we lose tonight. Well, you shouldn't want us to lose any game. I'm telling you now, Colombia might not have got through today. Senegal might have gone through. Japan might not have gone through. Anything could have happened in that group today. We could have come first. We could have come second. So it doesn't make a difference, to be honest, which I do admit annoys me a little bit. However, I'm guessing he's saving all the main players for Colombia. And the positive from tonight is at least we avoid Brazil in the quarterfinals, and we'll probably have slightly easier Sweden or Switzerland, but it's still going to be tough. But we've got to overcome Colombia, which is going to be very tough. I'm not trying to be negative, but that's like a 50-50 match, us against Colombia. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Disappointing.